Alright guys, welcome to the channel. Barcelona plays against Espanyol tomorrow at the Rcd Espanyol stadium. This will be the first game of the year and I'm very excited. And this is not just a game, this is also a derby that we are going to be watching. It is a Catalan derby. And every time we talk about Barcelona going to Espanyol stadium, there's always a lot of tension, mainly because there is a bad relationship between Piquet and the Espanyol club. So for example, I'm going to give you guys like a brief history of like what's been going on. And so let's just go back to 2016. In early 2016, Espanyol made a banner that said Shakira is for everyone. It's in Spanish, but I just translated it for you guys. Then in 2018, the Espanyol fans chanted Shakira is a whore, Milan must die. And if you guys don't know who Milan is Piquet's son. Then in 2019, Piquet responded with some words and he said this: I have more money than Espanyol's budget this year. Nope, not just 57 million, it's plenty more than that. Then Espanyol responded with a tweet and they said, the team that gives their all every day, 119 years of history, the 21st minute, the academy, respect for our rivals, a blue and white heart. These are our assets and values and they cannot be measured in euros. So there's always this back and forth going on between Espanyol and Barcelona, and something always has to happen every time Barcelona goes to that stadium. And usually when there is tension within the fans and the players, that usually transfers on the pitch when Espanyol and Barcelona are playing, and so the game gets a little bit dirty, like if it was Real Madrid versus Barcelona. And look, listen, we don't want that and I don't want that. I want a clean game tomorrow. Hopefully we can get the fans to respect Piquet and the club all together. And so yeah, I just want to give you guys a brief history of what like the Catalan derby is like. I want you guys to feel the tension. I want you guys to like feel the heat. And so yeah, that is what it has been looking like. And the last time we went to that stadium, back on December 8th, 2018, we won 4-0 at their home. Then in the most recent game, Barcelona won against Espanyol 2-0 at the Camp Nou on March 30th, 2019. Espanyol hasn't been able to grab a victory over the past 2 years. And so since we're talking about Espanyol struggling to get like wins, let's talk about what Espanyol has been looking like throughout this season. Like, what Espanyol are we going to get tomorrow? So if we look at where they're at, Espanyol is last place in La Liga. This is probably one of the worst seasons they have had so far, and they are by no means in good condition. Like, they are out of form, they are completely bad. And if we look into complete detail, like if we actually look in their stats of how they are doing this season, they have won only twice so far in the league. They have 2 clean sheets and are conceding an average of 1.9 goals per match, meaning they have conceded a total of 34 goals in 18 matches. Their top scorer in the league is a center back, and that top scorer has only 2 goals so far this season. And so this is where they're at right now, which means that there should be no excuses for Barcelona to not get this win tomorrow. And look, yes, it's a derby, I get it. I know that usually teams like this end up showing up for no reason, but we have to win tomorrow because the league is looking very tight. We are only over Real Madrid by 2 points, and so we have to win every game. So now that leads me into talking about FC Barcelona. We haven't talked about this team in a while. Like, we haven't done a pre-match preview in like a very long time. I mean, like, I feel like we haven't done that in a very long time because it has been like over 2 weeks since we played. So over the past 2 to 3 weeks, we have been hit by like injuries and transfer news and all these negotiations, and everything has been going through our heads. Some good, some bad, some people wanting to leave, some people wanting to come in, some people wanting to stay. There are players that actually left, and there are players who want to leave, and there are players that didn't. And so that is what Valverde's press conference was surprisingly all about. Not all of it, but most of it. So instead of me explaining what the players' current transfer status are looking like and who's coming to the club, let's just hear what Valverde has to say. They first asked him about the derby, and this is what he said: we look a little at what Rcd Espanyol has done in recent games, but also those of Abelardo with his teams. As he reaches the matches, he will change something to the team, but they are in a complicated situation. It is a derby. There's a lot of tension in the game. You play with your heart. You have to know how to play them. For us, it is important because we finished the first round and we want to win by that emotional component that it has. Then they asked him about Ter Stegen, and this is what he said: he came with some problems in the tendon for a while, and at a certain moment we see that maybe he'd be out for a while, and that is now. Tomorrow he will not be available for the Super Cup. It will be complicated for later and hope we can be. Then they asked him about Vidal, and so he responded, I suppose it is a difference in criteria for a contractual thing, but I don't think it has to have an impact on the sporting aspect. He trains well as usual, and that is something we have to solve with the club. Then moving on to Dani Olmo, he said he is a player who has already been here. He is a good player from another team. I don't talk about things that can happen. We have to be cautious about these things. Then they spoke about Aleña's departure, and this is what he said. He has left. I thought it was not going to be soon, but he has the chance to leave in August, and ultimately he stayed, and now he has exercised the clause to decide. Now we have one player less in the center of the field. I don't think of any way out anymore. We have those we have and those of the B team, RIQUI, PUIG, and more. Then he went on to speak about like Arthur and the titles and Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Then they were speaking about the best club of the decade and stuff like that and Christmas break, but I want to skip to the most important parts. And so then he spoke about Neto, and he said he has a great attitude both in training and when he has played. He showed it against Inter, and he had not participated and was at a great level. We have no doubt with him. He has to play, face complicated games, and there is full confidence in him. And that is how Valverde's press conference ended. There were a lot of questions about the player transfers and what are the current statuses of the players. So overall, he did give us some good answers on who we can see coming in the coming weeks. We know that Valverde is aware of RIQUI, PUIG. We know that we will see more of Neto. So again, there were multiple questions about players' exits and players coming in the squad. I don't want this to interfere with the squad and we end up losing focus, because again, there's so much going on in the club, which makes me very worried because I don't want this to interfere. We are going to continue seeing the media blast reports of players leaving and all these negotiations happening. So the main goal coming into this game is to clear the minds, focus on the task at hand, and let's get this done. And so Barcelona did announce their squad list earlier. And by the way, Messi, Vidal, and Suarez did return yesterday to train for the team. They were given a extended winter break, which I highly agreed with because they are in the older side of the team. So giving them those extra days was good for them. And if we look at the list, we are going to be without Dembele, Arthur, and ter Stegen. But one of the highlights that I saw about today's list is that we have ANSU Fati back. The medical team has given the green light for ANSU Fati. He is fully recovered. He was suffering from a bruised hip, but he is in well condition to play against Espanyol. So overall, I would make a pre-match analysis about this game, but I just feel like that's not important right now because right now Espanyol is in no condition to win this game. But that doesn't mean that the game is not going to be dirty. But my main goal coming into this match and what I want to get away from this match is a win, right? But mostly is to have this club settled in. I don't want anyone to consider leaving while we're playing this game. I don't want these negotiations to happen, and I don't want negotiations for this and negotiations for that. Let's just focus on the squad that we have right now and focus on the tournaments that we have at hand, because we do have a total of 4 tournaments to play, and that is why I keep bringing this up, is to focus, because 4 tournaments is a lot. We have the UCL, La Liga, Supercopa de España, and the Copa del Rey. It's a lot of tournaments, a lot of games. It's very compact, and I'm going to make a separate video about that, about how should we approach these next 5 months of the season. And I'm also going to be covering the transfer rumors that are going to be coming up within these next 2 weeks. So yeah, now I want to speak about the predicted lineup and the lineup that I want to see. So for my goalkeeper, I will put Neto. On the defense, I will start Semedo, Piquet, Lenglet, and Alba. In the midfield, we should put Vidal, Busquets, and De Jong. And up top is no other but the MSG. And the only sub I want to see in this game is ANSU Fati. I do want to see him play. I do want to see the youth start to take part of the season. Now for my predicted score, I'm going to have to say 4-0. And so that's it for today's video. Again, this is the first game of the year. Let's just focus on getting settled in. The club needs to get focused on getting settled in. I'm going to be covering all the transfer rumors that are going to be coming later, so stay tuned for that. And I'm also going to be making a post-match analysis after the game to see what went wrong or to see what went good. I'm going to be covering all of that. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.